welcome back to another episode of Around the Lumberyard, episode 2 here. This is an official podcast of the Clinton LumberKings. Chris, we have finished one full week of baseball, and how are we feeling?
We're feeling as good as we can, I think, through 1 week. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but we're not where we shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the LumberKings currently tied 3-3 with the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp on the record. Time of recording, we're still waiting to hear back from Burlington. They were winning that game that they had against, I believe, it would have been Normal. It was another team out there, but Burlington, surprise from Burlington, have not been in first place for a long time, and they are currently leading the way. A 2-game skid against Burlington this weekend, where the Bees sweep the Kings, and I don't think we've seen that since we joined the Prospect League.
It's been a while, absolutely. It feels like, they were both close games with Burlington. Mm-hmm. 1-run losses, I believe, in both of them. One in extras. Frustrating, but, you're right there. You're not getting blown out. All of our games that we've lost have been close games. So you can't ask for anything much better after the 3-3 start.
Yeah, and we'll talk all about that here this afternoon. We'll get your topics up for you on the screen. But obviously this week in LumberKings baseball, finishing off 3-3, we have a road trip coming up. It's going to kind of feel like minor league ball, where we are gone from Monday to Monday on the road. But I think we have a little bit tougher than minor league ball because we are traveling day in and day out, where minor leaguers will stay just for a week. And then we'll talk a little bit about the series against Illinois Valley on opening day. And then today, or yesterday when this comes out, Illinois Valley just has not been able to produce against the LumberKings. We'll talk more about that. And we'll get a quick interview with some of our players, Jaqson Tejada and Mulkey, who've been just on fire, and just talk about their experience on opening night. And then we'll have Chris and the general manager, Nate Vanderbleek, close out our show. So let's talk about this week. 3-3. You said it at the beginning. We're feeling as good as we can be, and we're right where we should be. Let's elaborate a little bit on that, Chris.
We're hitting the ball. We're first at this time of recording. We're first in runs, hits, batting average, RBIs, all those things. Top 5 in on base and slugging. Top 5 in ERA. So we're right there. Those close games. Hopefully, having the experience of Jack Dom can push us over the edge to get those 1-run losses into 1-run wins, hopefully. So
yeah, and I think something else that needs to be said too is this is a very different LumberKings squad. Yes, there are returners, but there are a lot of fresh new faces and a lot of young guys on this team who probably have never played baseball at this level day in and day out. So having a day to rest tomorrow, kind of just relax, reminisce on the week before hitting the road. We are playing Illinois Valley to kick things off on Tuesday, June 3rd, before coming all the way back home on June 10th. We'll have a game at the beginning and the end of the road trip in Illinois Valley, and that's kind of the team that we were looking at to kind of be like, all right, let's be wary. Where do we match up? And turns out we're dead even at 3-3 on the year.
Yep. And with Illinois Valley, we've maybe jumping the gun here, but we've played them very well, to say the least, to start the year. Opening day and then yesterday, just 24-0 or 24-0 in the 2 games we've played here. I like it a lot,
I like
to
it
say
too.
the least.
Love
They've turned into our rival, sort of, and we just love kind of taking it to them a little bit. Just kind of feels real good, especially because they're the defending champs. And
yeah, absolutely. 24-0 scoring. That's a 24-run differential, where Jaqson Tejada, who started off the season, was lights out in his 4 innings of work. I believe he had like 7 or 8 strikeouts. And then Chance Key, the kid out of Grand Canyon University, absolutely shoving. And I say shoving where it's like, you hear guys shoves, absolutely just dominant. But he made it look real easy. 3 up, 3 down, and nearly 4 of the 5 innings that he pitched in. He gave up just 2 hits. 1 was on an error, left 3 guys on. That was it. We had 1 guy in, I think, scoring position for Illinois Valley, and that was all that he had. Everything else was ground balls, fly balls, only 2 strikeouts, no walks.
And we just kept putting together big inning after big inning on them. 6 runs, 7 runs, 4 runs.
Yeah.
Inning after inning, and it was just fantastic, fun to watch.
Yeah, 2-hour 11 game in the last game against Illinois Valley, and I think that's the win that you want to end the week on.
Mm-hmm.
You have the day off, you get that winning feeling, you go back and you take it to them at their place.
Mm-hmm.
You have the momentum. Illinois Valley's kind of feeling tough. They're on a 2-game skid, losing against Normal the night before coming into Clinton. You want to give them that 3-game skid because a win puts them up ahead. A win for us puts us up ahead. And
Absolutely.
then we got games in Burlington this weekend, another 2-game series, but at their place. And let's talk about that Burlington series. Just tough. The LumberKings were able to find a way to come back down 9-2 at one point in game 1. Found a way to come back 9-9, just couldn't get it done in extras. And then the night after, just couldn't get it done. Had the tying run 90 feet away in a 4-3 loss.
I mean, this team is showing. I know we're only 6 games in, but they're showing grit. They're showing toughness, willing to come back, never counting themselves out of a game. I mean, 9-2. That's a big deficit
Yes.
by any stretch of the imagination.
And the thing that makes me scratch my head is, we're able to come back down from so much. It's what is it that needs to be done, either from the pitching standpoint or from a hitting standpoint, to get us over that edge. I was looking through my game notes, and every time that the Bees scored, it started off with a wild pitch or a pass ball. Those are runs that you can avoid from scoring, and all with 2 outs, by the way.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when Burlington went on their scoring streak, I think it was an 0-2 count, a fly ball falls for a single, you get a run, next one, a wild pitch or a pass ball. And those are runs that, you don't score, you win. You win that game,
Those are those hidden runs that are out there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Those are the runs that are unearned, that don't need to come across.
It could be an experience of playing together. Like I said, we're only 6 games in. These guys had very limited practice time together. They'll find their way, their groove together. They'll figure it out. They'll, get everything oiled up and ready to go.
Yeah. So let's look at the road trip ahead. We have Illinois Valley that we talked about. We want to get on that game. You want to get on early. The LumberKings have scored first in 4 of their last 6 games in the first inning. They weren't able to do so against Burlington or in the game against Illinois Valley. In game 2 against Burlington, game 1 against Burlington, game 2 against Illinois Valley. But they have been putting runners on and have had chances to score. So the bats early on are alive. It's later on where they kind of cool off, but we saw that difference here today where the bats in the middle and the end of the game were on fire.
Those bats were never extinguished.
Yeah.
they just kept going, and you could just see the dejection on Illinois Valley. They just looked, when you look at the scoreboard, it's 11-0, 12-0, and all of a sudden it balloons up to 17-0, and it's just, okay, it's time to hop on the bus and head back to Peru.
Yes. And, granted, worst case scenario, we take a loss in Peru. It's not going to be a long road trip back home. I don't know. I actually don't know if we're coming back home that night or if we're going straight to Springfield. I think we might stay in Normal for a night. But you want that win against Illinois Valley because you guys are tied. You're evenly matched. This was a team that we thought, that yes, we're outscoring them 24-0, but when we're not playing them, they are winning games. We are 2 of their 3 losses. The only other losses against Normal. Their other wins are against other teams in our division. So they're going to be competitive in your division. You know that the wins that you're going to need, should this go to a tiebreaker at the end of the first half, you need to have that edge. And also, Illinois Valley only plays 4 games here. Half of those games are done. So the last 2 games are coming at the second half of the season. So it's nice to know that we have that first half sweep against Illinois Valley here at home before we got to play 7 games in Peru.
Baseball's always been they call it a marathon, but 60 games is not much in this. It's a grind. It's 60 games. What is it? 68 days, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Is that
so? We got 8 weeks, and then if you go to playoffs, that's another week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of games in a short amount of time, and you've already played a full season in college level.
Yeah.
But these tiebreakers games that are very important when you are as evenly matched as I feel like we are with Illinois Valley.
So after the Illinois Valley game, we go to Springfield for 2 days. And Springfield, that was another tough one where the LumberKings came back but couldn't finish in game 1, took a very dominant win in game 2, but those are games that you need to win. That game 1, it could have easily been a 2-game sweep, but the LumberKings, obviously, I think that being the second game of the season and going on the road, I think that may have taken a little bit of a toll on the guys physically, because as we said at the beginning of the podcast, this is probably the first time that guys are playing back-to-back games and hitting the road for long stretches of time. Because when you're playing college ball, you go on the road for a weekend series. Maybe you have a doubleheader on a Saturday. You play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very rarely do you have game after game after game, and then you're off for classes Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday. This is every single day. So I remember Jack on the bus saying, this is what it's going to be like. You got to either you catch up or this is not for you. And we talked to Max Holy in our first episode, and he said, yeah, Summer Bowl prepared me for minor league baseball because all you're doing is playing baseball every single day. And if this is something that you want to do and do at a high level, obviously the guys who are here are doing this because they want to do better, not only at the college level, but want to make sure that the scouts who come in and watch, whether you're on the road or here at Nelson Court Field, are seeing, hey, you're putting in the work, you can play at this level, you can compete, you can survive. First off, I think that's just the baseline. But this is a real testament. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone talks about the Cape Cod League and Northwoods leagues, but Prospect League baseball is just as competitive as those leagues when it comes to you're playing games every single day.
And I think this long road trip is one of the longer road trips that we've had as the Clinton LumberKings. These guys, since they haven't played much together, they will gel together on those bus rides and on the field, off the field, on the road, being on the road, not being in the comfort of wherever they're staying. Yeah. They'll gel more together, I feel like, on this road trip.
Yeah.
And build themselves up, and hopefully come back home and be ready to roll in front of these LumberKing faithful, the fans that we have.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. We always have one super long road trip every season, and this is going to be this one where you're going to see the guys making their friendships. You're going to see the guys that click together. You're going to see the personality shine. We talked about Connor Juicy, Clay Jacobs last week and how well they helped form these guys. You're going to see leaders come out this week. You're going to see guys who are on the bus giving those speeches, who are talking with coach, who are picking up other guys when they're feeling down. This is where you're going to see it. And then come June 10th, when we play a game against the Normal Corn Belters, who, by the way, are the team that beat Illinois Valley last night, so they're going to be a good team playing us. Mm-hmm. You're going to see those guys step up. You're going to see those leadership roles. Jack Dom said that he's going to have guys playing at least once a day or once every other day to get guys in. We saw Noah Thine come in, so now you're seeing the return of guys who are going to be playing longer. We have a lot of temporary players right now that you won't see maybe at the end of this road trip or at the end of this month as we go into July. I'm talking about going into July. It's June 1st. But, already looking ahead to that, you're going to see those guys come through. And, again, it's not saying like, oh, those are going to be the leaders the entire season, but those are going to be the guys who are going to be feeling more comfortable to step out of their zone, feel comfortable to speak out, and really pick guys up. And for me, it's also, I get to finally figure out who they are. I don't have to just see, oh, they have a number on their back. Like I can see who they are and see what guys are working on. Because I always try to talk to them on the road and build that relationship so I can tell those stories on the air, but also I can see their body language on the field. What is it that they're looking like? How are they feeling? And try to interpret that for the fan.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you talked about the temporary players and the leaders that some of them are. When they leave, they will help the guys that are going to be here a long time, for the full season. They will help them become the leaders since they're going to be gone. They need to figure out, we need somebody to lead this squad. We need leaders and emotional support, morale boosters and all that. Mm-hmm. So that'll help once the temporary players do leave, whenever that may be. Mm-hmm. The guys that they're boosting up can step into that role and the leadership role and boost everyone else up on top of that.
The other thing I really like about this road trip is that we're playing the same teams we've seen this week. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing anybody new, so it's not like these guys are going to be shocked by, we haven't seen this pitching before, or we haven't seen how these guys go. We're playing the same first three teams we saw. Mm-hmm. We've seen Illinois Valley, we've seen Burlington, and we've seen Springfield, and those are the guys we're going to see on the road trip before Normal comes in. And as we said, Normal beat Illinois Valley. I think this is a perfect start to our schedule from where we're at. I think if we had started winless, unfortunately, Champion City Kings are the other Kings in the league are winless right now. That's a tough start to the season. But even if we were, for whatever reason, I think this would be the time to come back because you got 6 more games. Let's say we went 0-6, get 6 games, find a way to win all 6 of them. You're tied even 6-6, halfway before the end of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think this is going to be a perfect time for them. And let's talk a little bit more about this Illinois Valley squad because we are going to be playing them. We talked about 24-0 in the first 2 games. Game 3, what are you expecting to kind of see here from Jack Dom and crew, and what have you seen from Illinois Valley, good and bad?
Illinois Valley, the pitching just hasn't got there yet. Our bats have been red hot against them. I mean, 7-0 in the first game, 17-0 in Game 2 against them. It's a rough start for them against us. I don't know if that championship hangover thing is there or what it is with them, but I mean, they're 3-3 also on the season, so obviously they're doing something right, just like we are. Mm-hmm. Just they haven't found their groove against Clinton yet, so and I'm okay with that. I hope it continues moving forward on the road trip.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what also stands out to me is that I know I said, we've seen these guys before, but we haven't seen everybody. Cannon and I, our producer, were talking about one of the names that really kind of sent a shiver down our spine, and that's Herzog. He was absolutely dominant against us in that division championship game, and we haven't seen him yet. And either he's not here yet, or he's only playing games at home. And for a team that needs a win to take that edge against the LumberKings, I would be shocked if he's not starting on Tuesday. And that's going to be an arm that a lot of these guys may have never seen or experienced before.
Nasty stuff. That's all. That's the definition there. Either game, the next game Tuesday or the finale of the road trip, because we bookend with, like as mentioned, we have the bookend road trip with Illinois Valley. So I'm with you. He's going to pitch one of those two games for the Pistol Shrimp. Yeah,
a bat that I'm shocked that we haven't seen a lot. He was one of only 2 hits in the weekend finale. Tyler Dorsch, he finished off his batting average last year well over 340. Came in today, or to that game, 105. That was a shock. He went 0 for 4 on opening night. And I was like, okay, opening day, probably nervous playing out here. And I was expecting maybe his numbers would boost over the week. He's still been batting just over 100. That is a bat that I'm shocked hasn't gotten hot. I'd like to see his splits on the road as to home, because other news I found out about Schweikert Stadium, they have moved their center field wall back 30 feet. And 30 feet is a lot when you're talking about a ball that flies in open air. Schweikert Stadium is a hitter's ballpark, and it's going to be harder now to hit a ball to dead away center field. I can't help but think of R.J. Sherwood last year just hitting an absolute nuke to the back of the parking lot beyond left field. And the thing is, the parking lot is a good 20, 30 feet after the fence. So imagine a full parking lot, 20, 30 feet, and then some. So it's going to be interesting to see how the ball flies with the new dimensions out there. I think it was 370 originally. Now it's going to be about 390, 400 feet. So it's about the same as here at Nelson Court Field. However, they just have a fence that's about 8 feet tall. Here we got a wall that's about 15, 20 feet tall. So, we saw a really good hit today that hit off the base of the wall that drove in 3 runs. Believe that was against Frommel, who also Frommel hit the first home run for the LumberKings in that game against Burlington. Again, that home run was what kept us in the game. I believe we were down 3-1, came back 3-2 there. But it's going to be interesting to see these games with Illinois Valley. But I think something that also plays, well over 3,000 fans in this last weekend game. And I think the guys really feed off of that. Tell me, as you're our on-field announcer, what it feels like to be on the field having all those eyes on you.
They really get into it. They love this team. You can hear it. You can feel it. I mean, you walk on the field, and whether it's for the anthem or whether it's for me personally for going out in the game with some of the kids for the games on the field, they are jacked up from start to finish. They have a blast here. They're very faithful to this LumberKing team. Yeah.
And so we're going to get a quick interview. We'll share a quick interview that we had with Jaqson Tejada, the opening day starter, and Brayden Mulkey, who was absolutely on fire opening day. And they talk a little bit about how they prepared, how they felt, and what the guys are working like now. So here's the interview with Jaqson Tejada and Brayden Mulkey.
Andrés Tejeda coming to you from Springfield, Illinois, with Jaqson Tejada.
And Brayden Mulkey. Jaqson, you were the opening day starter for the LumberKings last night, and obviously you looked real good. Did you feel good out there?
I did feel pretty good, honestly. Because I prepared myself pretty well throughout the week beforehand, and it allowed me to come out there and perform the way I kind of wanted to.
Have you ever pitched in front of a crowd like that before?
No, honestly. I was probably the biggest crowd I've ever performed in front of. It was kind of fun and exciting, got my adrenaline up. Love doing it.
Brayden, you got 3 RBIs last night. What did you do to prepare for playing in front of a crowd like that?
I just stuck to my approach that I had in BP and in the cages. Locked in, try to do little things, not let the moment get too big.
Without trying not to let the moment get too big, it's kind of hard to do that when you're in front of a crowd like this. Just nearly 2,000 folks last night on opening night. What was the experience for you?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. When the fans are behind you, helps you pump, like Jack said, pump up your adrenaline and makes you play better.
And for a question for both of you, how is the team melding together? Obviously, you've only been with each other for about 48 hours since, but it seems like everything's meshing well, taking down the Prospect League champions of last year and shutting them out, the only shutout last night. What's the camaraderie been like so far?
I would say for us, for me, like maybe 72 hours, knowing these boys, I feel a lot closer than I probably would with any other kind of guys. I say the trust on the fields is there. Plus, we're all here to have fun and also get better as well.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think the biggest thing is just the energy in the dugout. We're all playing and to have fun and go out and win each and every day and just play loose and together.
With that, obviously trying to play together and working together, what was some things that Jack told you guys going into opening night?
Honestly, just trust the stuff I have. Obviously, I'm here for a reason. Trust my defense. He's got the guys that are gonna help me behind me, and I'll just have fun.
I would say he told us just trust in your ability, go play loose, go have fun, just go win and play with your brothers.
Speaking of defense, more so for you, Jaqson, you got lined in the shoulder, but you looked like a brick wall out there. You didn't flinch. You kept it. What was going through your head as soon as it hit you?
Probably the fans being there kind of saved it a lot. Without the fans there, probably would have curled up in a ball, but the adrenaline was pumping for sure. So. And
then any final words for the Clinton faithful as we start this season?
Thanks for coming out. It was awesome to have everybody there and enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'd say we love the energy and just come out each and every night and it'll help us win.
All right, that's Tejada and Mulkey. We'll be back with more on Around the Lumberyard.
Joining me now, the general manager of your Clinton LumberKings, Nate Vanderbleek, joining us right here. Nate, how are you?
Hey, I'm not too bad, Chris. How are you?
Great. Celebrating a nice win against Illinois Valley.
Oh, you're telling me. And any win against those guys should count as 2, I think.
I am not disagreeing with you. That'd be a great rule we could, throw out to the Prospect League.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for it, but it's worth a try. It's worth a mention.
Speaking of the Prospect League, I know you have some thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on Quincy returning back here to the Prospect League?
I'm real glad to have a franchise back in Quincy. I think they're a long-time franchise here in the Prospect League, and obviously they were a division rival of ours back when the Gems franchise existed. So when the ownership decided that they were going to be disbanding the Gems franchise, it was a big bummer for us because we had a good rivalry going with them. Our last game in the 2023 season was a playoff game here at Nelson Court Field against the Gems, so it was definitely a sad deal to see them go. So I'm very happy to see Quincy back. We have a lot of great markets here in the Prospect League, a lot of great cities and communities that support and want to have baseball. And I know Quincy was one that was not quite ready to say goodbye. So I'm glad that they get another crack at this.
Absolutely. And being in division with us, too, that's always going to be a fun little social media rivalry with them and on the field, I hope.
Absolutely. We see all of our division opponents so much. And geographically, they're close. That definitely helps. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of ways, it kind of works out that way because a lot of these guys on the teams in the division play college ball together. They're from similar areas just from the way geography works. So it's kind of nice. You get some nice rivalries going, which is why we've seen who I consider to be our unofficial sister franchise, Burlington. We have such a good rivalry with them. And then Illinois Valley the last couple years. really having a good rivalry with them as well. And I'm excited to see with this new Quincy franchise what that's going to look like.
Absolutely. Now, what are your take on, we have some returning players. We also have a whole slew of new talent coming to this roster. What are your thoughts on our roster with the new and returning talent that we have coming in?
We have some absolute stoppers and some guys who are just ready to be fast tracked to the professional ranks. I mean, you look around at a game like today. I was able to catch quite a bit of the game today. We were very busy here. Lots of fans, just short of 3,200 fans in the ballpark. So that kept us on our toes. But I was able to catch a little bit of the game here and there. I mean, when you're dropping 17 runs on a team, I mean, you clearly have some offensive talent. And then, of course, the pitching staff getting the shutout as well. So it's a double dose of awesome, which is really great to see. So it's nice to see some guys come back, some, not to say veteran leadership, because I don't know if you really truly have veterans in college summer ball, but some guys who've been there before know what to expect, especially when it comes to teams you see a lot like Illinois Valley or Burlington, and then seeing lots of new guys who are just young, hungry, and want to get back out there. So we've seen tons of great offensive stuff, and the pitching has been great too. But you see our record here at this point at the time of recording, 3-3. All three of those losses have been one-run losses, I believe. So we've been in the games or have won the games all our first 6 games of the season. So that's nothing to complain about. So I think we're in a very good spot here.
I totally agree with you. We touched on that a little bit earlier about this close games and the experience of Jack Dom trying to push us over those one-run losses and turn those into victories. You touched on the attendance also. We are second in the league currently through the first week of the season in attendance. That's a testament to this city and this town and how much they enjoy LumberKing baseball.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that Clinton has done super duper well, at least in my time, being not only a part of the club but also a fan. I'm a Clinton native myself. I grew up coming to this ballpark myself, and we've always done a good job, at least in my experience, of really packing this building. A lot of that is helped out with the architecture of our stadium. We have a roof on it, so it basically makes it a giant speaker, which I always joke, if you chirp at a player playing left field, he's gonna hear it.
Yep.
He will hear what you say, so take that with what you will. Hopefully keeping things positive there, but it's a lot of charm, and Clinton does such a good job of supporting this team, and we also can't understate the surrounding communities as well. We have a huge contingency, not only on this side of the river, but over in Illinois as well. You see the support from the Carroll County communities, and of course, like today, Sterling Rock Falls Day. That's our second biggest market, is Sterling Rock Falls, and those folks travel tremendously well, not only just for this game, but throughout the year. So we're always happy to host these community days. But yeah, it's some of our biggest crowds of the year, and if it wasn't for the 4th of July, it probably would be our biggest crowd of each year.
And you can tell the energy and excitement once this team, just like a 17-0 victory, once the bats just keep going and everybody's hitting the same time, this place gets loud and they get very supportive of the team. We're only a weekend, but what does excite you most about this 2025 season? Promotion-wise, city-wise, team-wise, what excites you the most as a general manager of the Clinton LumberKings?
Yeah, the one thing to remind myself, I'm not only on the business side of things, but I'm a fan. I'm a huge LumberKings fan. I was before I worked with the club, and now as the general manager, I want to see the team do well, not only for my own selfish business reasons, but also because my own vested interest, being born and raised here, growing up watching this team, I want to see us succeed. And if you look just on paper, or even not on paper, just from the eye test, since we joined the Prospect League in 2021, we've been very good. We've been fantastic. I want to say every year, the first 4 years in the Prospect League, we've had a better record than the season before. And I think for this season, for the 2025 season, it's only a matter of time before we can break through and really make a deep playoff run. Fans in Clinton want to win. We haven't hoisted a trophy since 1991. So fans are getting a little antsy, myself included. I think of our friend in the next booth over there, Brad Seward, who's been here since 1996, desperately wants a piece of jewelry. But I think it would mean so much to our team and our club and the city in particular, because you look around and we're glad to see that Illinois Valley hoisted the trophies, friends of ours, division rivals, but a fantastic organization. But they're, of course, a newer club. The LumberKings, as they currently exist, have been around since 1937, and Clinton has had baseball since the aughts. I want to say like 1907, 1908-ish. So the fact that we're such a storied franchise and we have fans that have been coming for 8+ decades at times, the fans deserve it. And not to say that teams that don't have as much history don't deserve it, but we have some diehards that have been coming here for most of a century. And I know I would enjoy a championship and hoisting that trophy at the end of the year, but I can only imagine it means that much more to folks who have been coming here for 80+ years sometimes.
Absolutely. I was here as a young lad in 1991 when we won that trophy. I was 9 years old, I believe, when we won. So I remember it, and it's been a long time coming. And hopefully, I can't imagine what the excitement level will be once we finally do break through, because I'm confident enough that I'm hoping this year, 2025 is the year that we hoist that Prospect League trophy over our head and we call ourselves champions.
I have a feeling there will be tears flowing. I think there will
by several members of this staff. Yes.
Oh, absolutely, and myself included. Mm-hmm. I just think back. I unfortunately at times am a Cubs fan. The Cubs are doing well this year, though. And I just think back to those emotions of 2016, and obviously 1991 and 1908 are two very different years, but it's a similar feeling of it's not necessarily like it's a celebration, of course, but more the feeling of finally, like it's more relief than anything. And I think we kind of feel that since it's been 34 years since a title. I think we're going to kind of get that feeling when, I say when, not if, but when that time comes, because it's only a matter of time. We've put quality teams on the field. To me, there's no better field manager or team builder than Jack Dom in this league, so it's only a matter of time. Hopefully this year. We
have discussed on this podcast a little bit about Jack Dom and how much experience he brings, and the fact that he's been the manager of this team since we joined the Prospect League, and his 800+ collegiate wins are nothing to, shake your head at and count out. So,
yeah, we're tremendously lucky to have him.
Yeah,
I think the fans of Clinton realize that, but I just want to say again that you look around this league, there's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of talented coaches, but I truly believe, and I know I'm biased, but I truly believe we have the best of the best.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And again, I know I'm biased right when we're with you. So I know we are here at Nelson Corp Field, and this is you are the general manager, so I have to ask you a fun question.
Okay.
Favorite concession item that we have? What is your favorite concession item that we have?
I'll tell you what, if you would have asked me a couple years ago, I probably would have said the garbage pail, but the garbage pail does not agree with me the way it used to. I used to say I have one garbage pail a year, and that's all I can do, but I can't even do that. I haven't had a garbage pail for 2-3 years, and it's probably going to stay that way. Let me think. I love brats, so I might have to go with a brat. But we have some fantastic things on our menu. I think so. I'm also a big chicken strip guy. We got new chicken strips this year, and not to say our old ones were bad, because those were good. These new chicken strips we have are, to me, next level. These are so fantastic, and they're huge too. Like I think when you order a thing of chicken strips, you only get 3 of them, but they're enormous. They're like this big. So I would say probably either the brats or the chicken strips, but there's plenty of good stuff around here. It's very difficult to not find something you like here at Nelson Corp Field.
Absolutely. Come on down. We have plenty of options for it, like the new barbecue brisket fries that I saw on the menu. I haven't tried those yet, but I certainly plan on it at some point during this 30 games we have here.
Absolutely.
Any final words you want to say to the Clinton faithful before we wrap things up here on episode 2 of Around the Lumberyard?
Yeah, for sure. If you're listening to this podcast, that means you're a big LumberKings fan, hopefully, and you're committed to sticking with us here. So I always worry we don't say loud enough thank you to our fans, but they're truly the ones that make this possible. If we have no one in the stands, we no longer exist. We don't make money, and I'm unemployed. So I just hope that fans know that they're such a crucial part of this. We are not a traditional sports team where we have an owner. We are community owned. And as a result, my boss is every person that owns stake in the club, and as a result, a whole bunch of our fans in the stands. So our primary reason for existing is to make sure that the folks of Clinton and the surrounding area have a fun entertainment option, and we are going to do this as long as we possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Nate, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Feel free to download this podcast, listen, watch it on all your major streaming platforms. This is Around the Lumberyard. I am Chris Mickelson, joined with Nate Vanderbleek today, the general manager. Andrés Tejeda, thank you. Our producer, Cannon, thank you. Catch us next time. Hopefully we have a nice, strong road trip. And catch us next time around the Lumberyard podcast.